What's going on, guys? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. NBA DFS video for Sunday, December 8th. You guys absolutely killed it yesterday, and we're going to do the exact same format here. So if you're new to the channel, listen towards the end of the video because we do have a giveaway every single video. Technically, we have two giveaways. We're going to have two giveaways in this video, so stick around. So if you're new to the channel and you don't know what we do here, anytime there's at least 5 games on the slate, we're going to give you 3 top, 3 mid, and 3 value picks at each position. We're going to give you our early projections. We've already done 10,000 simulations. We do 20,000 every day. So we're giving you these early lineups, these early simulations, early projections. On top of that, if you want to check us out with like a 6 p.m. game, like a main slate lock, I will say come back about 4 p.m. Central Time. That's when we have the finalized 20,000 simulations. Our projections are updated. The cheat sheet's done. The starting lineups are there for you guys to start building with yourself with your own lineups. So we've got it all there. If you're new to the channel, we do have giveaways and we do have FTA+. So we have 2 current promotions going on. A $10 a week pass, that's every single sport. A $30 a month pass, but you can use the promo code Black Friday. Get your first month for $15. That includes every sport. Every pass includes every sport. And a yearly pass, normally $199. Use the promo code NBA is back. All one word, all capital letters. Instead of $199, get it for $74.99 while supplies last. So what we're going to do is the 2 giveaways. It's for liking this video and leaving a comment. If this video gets at least 50 likes, you have a chance at a free week of FTA+. 100 likes is a free month, 150 likes a free year, 200 or more likes on the video, a chance at a lifetime pass. And the second way to win, there'll be a keyword somewhere throughout this video. We will listen for that keyword, type it in, and have yourself a second shot at winning a free week. So looking at this, we do have 6 games on the main slate. We're going to go position by position. A lot of value I feel like is going to open up throughout the day because it should. Because there's a ton of game time decision and questionable guys. So these are our early projections. And these can and will update usually by noontime. We get a real grasp of what the projections might look at. So like Harden's questionable, Van Fleet's questionable. There's just a ton of questionable guys, whether or not they're going to be probable. Yeah, I mean, he had a very bad game, his last game, played 24 minutes. He is questionable. This is definitely something to pay attention to. So early projections, early simulations for you. This is what our early 10,000 simulations have given us. Looking at point guard, we got James Harden at the top. If he plays, coming off a bad game, questionable. I feel like he'll play, but you never know what's going to happen. Got him projected right around 46 to 50 fantasy points. He's got the 11th DVP against his position going up against Houston. You got Steph Curry going up against Minnesota. Got him at 45 fantasy points, 12th DVP. And then we've got De'Aaron Fox going up against Utah. Usually we like to take players against Utah. 43 fantasy points, what we've got him projected at, right around 20th DVP. Now we move down the list a little bit to try and find some value. Jordan Poole, right around 34 fantasy points, 16th DVP. We've got Anthony Simons going up against the Lakers, 6th DVP, so not the best for him, but we've got him early projections right around 32 to 35 fantasy points. And then we've got Chris Paul going up against New Orleans, the team that was he on New Orleans? I'm thinking somebody else, I think. But maybe, I don't know. He's moved around a little bit. It's 24 DVP against him. I've got him projected right around 31 to 34 fantasy points. Then we find some sort of value here. Not a ton right now, but we got Marcus Smart going up against Washington, 28 DVP right around 22 fantasy points. Scottie Pippen Jr., same thing, same position, same team, 28 DVP right around 20 fantasy points. And then you go a little bit lower is 3,700. Keon Ellis going up against Utah, 20th DVP against the shooting guard, 18 to 22 fantasy points. Moving to the shooting guard, again, you got Austin Reeves questionable, Brogdon and Clarkson out, Hawkins out, Kamara questionable. A lot to discuss. Now, this is why I think value will open up on a Sunday. Sundays just seems like the day of rest, just like catchers in football or catchers in baseball. I kind of feel that situation here. So we look at this. Anthony Edwards at the top, 43 to 45 fantasy points. Malik Monk against Utah, right around 35 fantasy points, 20 at DVP. CJ McCollum against San Antonio, 34 to 38 fantasy points, 19th DVP. in that matchup for him right there. Now, we move to the, mid-tier picks here. Not a ton that I love. Probably paying up at this position today. But if we do look a little bit, I got Norman Powell going up against Houston, 30 fantasy points, 12th DVP there. Trey Murphy, the third, going up against San Antonio, 30 fantasy points projected out of him right now, 13th DVP. And then Amon Thompson going up against the Clippers, 12th DVP, got him about 28 to 30 fantasy points himself. Now we look for some value, which a ton don't pop up now. I think later on more value will pop up here. But we do look at this. Dalton Knecht, if he can get the minutes here. He's got a fantastic matchup, best matchup for him. Going up against Portland, they are 30th DVP. Got him right around 26 to 28 fantasy points from him. We look a little bit further down. Delano Banton in that same game for him if he gets some run. 6 DVP, so not the best, but we got him about 23 to 25. And then we are looking a little bit lower. Carrington, second game of a back-to-back, so we'll pay attention. 16th DVP against Memphis, 23 to 25 fantasy points out of him. Will really depend on how the game flow goes, the game script, and if he can get the minutes that we really need him to get. So then we move to the small forward position. Ingram's out, most likely. Got hurt on Saturday. Markkanen is questionable, and Wiggins is questionable. Tari Eason out. Sadiq Bey out. Like, these names are already out. We know this. So something's got to pop up. But we're looking at DeMar DeRozan at the top, 37 to 40 fantasy point range. Markkanen, why are you questionable? Let's see. He didn't play Friday, but he could be sidelined for a second straight game. If Markkanen is in, I do like him. Early projections have him 25th DVP, so a great matchup for him. 34 to 38 fantasy points. Again, we'll really just be able to come down to if he plays. And if he does play, is he going to be 100%? Probably not. Is he going to get his minutes that he needs? Maybe. So it really depends on that situation there. So then we go down to Desmond Bane. 31 to 34 fantasy point range, going up against Washington. Love to take him against Washington. Love to take players against Washington, basically. And he has the 20th DVP at this position here. Move down the list a little bit. It's getting a little chippy there. But we've got Keegan Murray against Utah, 10th DVP, so not the best, but about 30 fantasy points out of him. We've got Mr. Worldwide. We've got Julian Champagne. I know that's not his name. If you guys are not new here, you know what I'm talking about. In this matchup, 5th DVP. So that's why I tell you, pay attention to the weird rankings here on DraftKings. They don't always line up. It's very weird. But Mr. Champagne at 25 fantasy points. Koulibaly right around 24. Trying to find some sort of value here at small forward. Not finding a ton yet. Probably will open up throughout the day. But Kevin Herter going up against Utah, 29th DVP, about 22 to 25 fantasy points. You've got Jaden McDaniels going up against Golden State, 11th DVP, 20 to 22 fantasy points. Go down a little bit further, maybe a little bit of Jake LaRavia, right around 20 fantasy points. If, in fact, our boy, James Harden, is out of this lineup, an Amir Coffey could take his spot. Amir Coffey, if he gets the run here, he is 4,000, about 20 to 24 fantasy points. I do not mind that matchup at all. Again, it hinges on whether or not Harden will be in or out. So we move to power forward now. You got LeBron James questionable. I think he's questionable every game. He'll play. I guess he's been playing through foot soreness. But if you look at his game logs, it really hasn't hindered him. Coming off 83.5 fantasy points. Triple-double, 39 real points. Monster game. 2 days ago, he's had a day of rest or whatever he needs to do. Dude spends $1 million on his body every year, so he should be good to go. So LeBron James got him right here. About 50 fantasy points. We're never going to project someone at 80 plus. Just get that out of your mind. But he's got a great DVP matchup here. 19th out of 30. A great matchup for LeBron. His former teammate, or former Laker, I should say, not teammate, Julius Randle against Golden State, got him projected right around 37 to 40 fantasy points. We look at him, 8th DVP, so not the best DVP, but I do like the matchup there. And then John Collins, 36 fantasy points, 13th DVP. Move down mid-tier a little bit. Jaren Jackson Jr., 23rd DVP against Washington. Love this matchup for him. About 35 to 40 fantasy points. Would not be surprised. We do have Draymond Green against Minnesota. 25th DVP, 33 to 35 fantasy points himself. And then Denny Avdija, right around 29 fantasy points. 20th DVP against the Lakers. Trying to claw our way down this list and finding some of this value that, I mean, look at all the people that are out. Look at everything there. Got to find that value somewhere. Depending, when I look, I'm looking at under 5K. So I'm looking at a Keldon Johnson against New Orleans. 5th DVP, but about 23 to 25 fantasy points. Herbert Jones against San Antonio, 14 DVP, so kind of in the middle, right around 23 to 25. And then if you want to go even lower, depending, you could look at Jalen Green, especially with a lot of these guys being out. With Green going here for New Orleans, San Antonio, 6 DVP, but about 17 to 22 fantasy points out of him. Now, looking at the center position, Wemby, questionable. I think he plays. He's got a good matchup here. We're projected right around 51 to 55, 13 DVP there. Anthony Davis, questionable tag, most likely will play. Dude has questionable tag every single game. We're looking at about 51 to 55 as well, but a better matchup here. Portland, 25th DVP against position. I would smash the add button on Davis if LeBron James is in fact out for this game for just a rest reason. I know he said he wanted to play every game, but the way they've been struggling and then he's hurt, we could see that. So if LeBron is out, Anthony Davis is my number one pick for the day. But if he's in, I still like him. He's got a great DVP. Another one at the top here, Sabonis against Utah, the best matchup for him. Would not surprise me if Sabonis gets a triple dub here. 30th DVP, the best matchup for him. Like I said, 47 to 50 fantasy points. Would not be surprised if he smashes that 60 plus. Mid-tier for centers, I don't usually go down too far, but we are looking at Zubac here, about 35 fantasy points, 7 DVP against Houston. DeAndre Ayton against the Lakers. They are 21st against the DVP, 21st, about 33 to 38 fantasy point range for Ayton. And then Rudy Gobert against Golden State, 12th DVP, right around 33 to 35 fantasy points. And if you want a dumpster dive here at the center position, you can see a ton of people out. Not a lot that I love here. Maybe Trace Jackson Davis at 18 to 22 range, 19 DVP there. Marvin Bagley the third if Washington gets blown out and he gets some run there. Against Memphis, not the best matchup, 8th DVP, but 16 to 20 fantasy points. And I mean, we could go down how far he's come, but Steven Adams against the Clippers, I don't think he'll play. I don't think I'm even going to touch close to down here. Steven Adams, 18th DVP, 14 to 18 fantasy points. So there you have it. Those are the initial projections, initial simulations through 10,000 simulations. So what we're going to do is we're going to build you guys a FanDuel lineup, a DraftKings lineup, and a Yahoo lineup to hopefully get you ready to rock and roll in this matchup. So I know he's questionable. I want to see why Scoot Henderson is questionable against the Lakers. He's got a good matchup here. Missed last 4 games due to, he's probably out. Scoot Henderson, that's one that I always was very curious about whether or not, because sometimes they have these questionable tags and then they still play no matter what. That just doesn't feel like the one that's going to be it. So possibly in his absence, we got Delano Banton, be a cheaper option at 4,500. We got Dalton Knecht here for the Lakers. I do like this matchup against Portland. Follow that up by Mr. Champagne, Julian Champagne. I don't like his prices starting to go up, but we'll take what we can get. Again, these are great starting lineup points. These are not an end-all, be-all. These are not finalized. These are obviously early through 10,000 simulations, but it's a good start to where we are at to give you guys good headspace to figure out where you could go from here. And then we got Wemby at 23 or 10,300. So that's one lineup. That is a DraftKings lineup. It can and will change because there are so many questionable players. That is what we need to look for. So I'm going to pause the video and get the FanDuel ready, and I'm going to show you the lineup that we are ready to go with FanDuel. All right, so this lineup here, we got Steph Curry, Fred VanVleet, we got Dalton Knecht, Colin Sexton, all the way down to Alperen Sengun. If you guys want to check it out, pause the video here, check out the lineup. Obviously, this is a beginner's lineup. This is not an end-all, be-all. There's a ton of moving parts for this Sunday, kind of like every single Sunday. It just feels like today feels like a ton of injuries and questionable guys that show questionable, but if you go into it, they are already ruled out for this game. So pause the video and check it out. And before we get to our Yahoo lineup, the key word or key phrase of the day is injury bug, because it just seems like that's where we're at in this situation. There's so much injury going around. So that being said, we're going to look at our Yahoo lineup. We've got Scottie Pippen as a value option. So we've paid up here for AD, Anthony Davis 56, and then Keegan Murray basically, and Malik Monk. And then we've paid down for like a Scottie Pippen, a Keon Ellis, a Julian Champagne. We've all of them, and then Jake LaRavia, all paid down at those positions. Again, it's a boomer bust pick. When we build these lineups, we are building these lineups as tournament lineups, not cash lineups, not an end-all be-all like I've said. So those are your lineups for them. I will lock this one in. And we will have the giveaway. So we're going to have 2 giveaways here from yesterday's video. Like I said, 748 views, 24 comments, 73 likes. So we are going to have a giveaway for hitting at least 50 likes, and we're going to have a giveaway for anyone who used the keyword, which was games, or a combination of that. So even if this first comment has the word games in there, we're still going to re-roll it for that comment. So this is only for getting at least 50 likes on yesterday's video. Alabama Jones, 901, congratulations. Please email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. That's dfshelp, the number 1, @gmail.com. And let me know your username, and because I know you have one on the site. Let me know what your username is, and I will get you set up very quickly. Now, you did have games there, but you know the drill. You've been here long enough, Alabama. We know. So let's pick another winner. Anyone who has the word, and it could re-roll, and it see, I don't do it. There you go, S. Clemon 4. I don't believe I've ever seen you win before. So if it is your first time, congratulations. Please hit me up on email, dfshelp1@gmail.com. That's dfshelp, the number 1, @gmail.com. Let me know a username and an email that is good, and we will get you set up for that free week so you can take advantage of a week of content. That is a week of NFL, NBA, PGA, and MMA, if there is MMA next Saturday, which I assume there is. I have not dug in to look yet, but I would be surprised if there is not. So congratulations to you two. Congratulations to everyone who's found this channel. If you are new, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Check out our free Discord down below. Check out our history YouTube channel. It is there as well. Good luck on this NBA slate. Let's bring home some bacon. Peace.